Hello, my gorgeous, thriving souls. Welcome back to the Rising Within podcast. I'm Kelly Cole. I'm your host. And today we are diving in straight with some very deep themes that really came from the earth herself. And so when I look at the microcosm of ourselves and the macrocosm of this universe and the earth, for me, the earth is the mother, it is the nurturer, it is the spirit of creation. And that is very prominent. And this year in 2026, we're getting a lot of her. It's like she is speaking more loudly than ever. And so we're going to go through a couple themes that are for right now, for things that you want to hear. I have some notes that I'm going to look at from time to time. I also brought this little wooden guy with me. He's a little turtle that I got when I was in Hawaii back in 2020. No, not 2024, 2004. So he's been with me for a really long time. And he holds a memory for me, and I'll share that with you in a little while. But what this year is asking is for us to connect more deeply, and that's a really consistent theme. One of the ways, because some of us are just more earth connected anyway. A lot of us are really driven by nature. We are automatically like soothed when we are in nature. And this is speaking into that place for a lot of us. I'm gonna put him down now because I don't know if he needs to be like up here all the time. So one of the biggest themes I'm going to start with is this realization where the earth is saying basically that it's a request for you to have a mirror up for yourself. And it's specifically speaking to the people who love to be outside in nature, who love to photograph nature and post it and want to like go out and have that be their thing that they feel is really comforting for them, has brought them back into regulation. Nature's beauty is one of the things that always brings me back into my center. However, this is part of the theme. And I wrote some of them down very specifically, so I'm going to read what I got, which is, you may look at the beauty around you in wonder, but do not choose to look at yourself. And this is really speaking into the heart of how that Mother Earth looks at us. Like we are the children. And she's saying, you're looking around you, you're looking everywhere outside of you, and you're like, it's so beautiful, it's so amazing, it's gorgeous, and yet you haven't looked inside you. This is what I see. I see how beautiful you are, how much connection you have, how your heart is pure and beautiful, and you're not looking at that at all. You're not even understanding that that is what I see. And so this is a request for introspection. This is a moment to maybe look at any shadows that you have where you might not be able to receive that, be able to receive that idea that you are also just as beautiful as a gorgeous mountain and a river that's flowing by, and that you, your soul and your essence and your heart and who you are is just as beautiful. Look inside. Do not look around and wonder. I am looking at you in wonder. Okay, so that's the first theme, is really asking you to look inside yourself. And when you are, if that feels too hard, that's probably pointing you in the direction of a shadow. It's probably pointing you into the direction of something that is covering that ability for you to open that door and let in that feeling of just being loved and being appreciated and being seen for who you are. And we all are encouraged and built up and filled up by that. So if you're feeling like that's not something that you can do, then that's really something that's an idea for you. to look into more deeply, right? Your hearts hold so much beauty and truth. Look within. So that's the ending on that one. Their next theme is about finding your moment. And so many people might have a moment when they really felt like, oh my gosh, I'm outside, and I'm talking about with the earth, like within nature. And so this can be a moment of you have given birth, you have feeling like a mother for the first time, like truly that innate within you primal instinct of motherhood. You might have had a memory where you were somewhere amazing. Maybe it was a trip, maybe it was just a most gorgeous sunset, and it's asking you to find your moment. I'm going to tell you two of my moments. One of my moments was I was in Lake Tahoe for a wedding, and there was a little, it's like an amphitheater almost. There was this, excuse me, there were these seats coming down, like benches that went down to the lake, and there were people down there performing. It was like street performer kind of situation, and we were all just like hanging out and watching. And the sunset that night was one of the most amazing and ridiculous sunsets that I've ever seen in my life. It was like deep purples and hot pink. Like it was so cool. It was so cool. It was the coolest sunset I've ever seen. And I had this moment where I was like, I can't believe that I'm seeing this. Like I couldn't take enough pictures of it. And it didn't matter anyway, because any of the pictures that I took didn't do it justice. Like I have a picture downstairs on my mantle in my basement, and it does not do it justice. But that is one of my moments. And the other one of my moments is when I was in Hawaii in 2004. And not only was this super cool because got my little guy here, my little wooden turtle that he's with me. This was super cool because this particular trip, my mom took me after I graduated college on a trip, and we went to Hawaii. Except one of my very good friends from nursing school was also there, and we didn't like plan this together. It was just that she was saying one day, like, oh, I think I'm going to go to Hawaii with my mom. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to go too. Like, that's crazy. And then we ended up together. Some of our trip overlapped. And we were in the same place because we ended up going to the same beach. And so we were there, we met for dinner, and we decided that we were going to book a surfing lesson for the next morning. So we were going to learn how to surf. And so it's butt crack early in the morning. I think I actually flew out that night. So like, I don't know, we had to go early in the morning. And because I remember I got back on the plane later to like get home, and I had such horrible, like a rash from the sand and the surfboard that like I could barely put my airplane seatbelt on. So anyway, when I was out there, I just had this moment because I was having a lot of fear about sharks and stuff, and I was definitely like having a moment. But I was sitting out there, and I was just waiting for the next waves to come, and it started just drizzling so lightly. But I remember my legs were hanging down, the water was warm, it was absolutely beautiful, and I was just sitting there thinking to myself, like, I cannot believe that this is my life right now. I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe how gorgeous this is. I'm looking at like palm trees and a mountain and this gorgeous water. It was absolutely gorgeous. And when I turned back to look to see for the next set of waves that was coming, there was a complete rainbow. A complete rainbow, which I know if you live in Hawaii, maybe you're like, that happens all the time. Except for me, Miss East Coast Maryland girl, I like had tears in my eyes. I was like, oh my gosh. And so it was just this moment that I really felt like, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe this is my life. And it was because of nature's beauty. And that was one of my moments. And so I want you to think and find within you, within your past, within one little microsecond, a moment that you felt like you saw something so beautiful in nature, whether it was an animal or an insect or a plant or anything that comes from this earth. And so that is your request and your homework, is to find your moment, because we have to center in order to come through this year. We need to center in and find those moments where we know what's regulating us. And if what's regulating us, and we know what's regulating us, is things in nature, we need to lean into that and find them and bring them with us wherever we are. I can bring this with me no matter where I am. I can put it in my purse. I can put it in my car. Like, I can bring this with me, and it reminds me. This reminds me. And so having this token is something that is so important when I really need it. And I keep it out all the time. Like, it's just something I don't ever think I'll get rid of. It's always like on the windowsill, coming from my bed into my bathroom. Like, it's always there, and it just gives me, even if I don't have that moment to go into the full memory, it just gives me this little bit of lightness. And I think that we all need these things, and to make sure that we're purposefully and intentionally using them and putting them where we need in our lives right now. We need to do that right now. All right, and the next theme is really just about connection. And so there's two themes kind of melding together here, which is really, one, a theme about connection, a connection with yourself, connection with others, and the other part is that this idea that there's a bridge that's happening right now between the people who are able to move forward and who have expanded a lot in their energy, who have cleared out a lot of trauma, a lot of old things that were holding you back, beliefs, stories, programs, things that you've been able to clear out, overcome. Maybe they're still lingering in there a little bit, and hey, that happens to all of us, but the point is that for all of us, that we are meant to go forward and just understand that because you've done that, you are now the bridge. Like, we are the bridges. We are the bridges between an expanded consciousness and a retracted consciousness. We're the bridge between being able to talk and understand about these things and about the connections that we have with one another, and the people who don't even understand what that means. We are the bridge. And for a lot of this, it is our heart's perspective on something that will shed the light. It's the way that you move in the world, the way that you act, the way that you smile at someone, the way you hug someone, the way you reach out and text them because you're thinking of them or you're worried about them. The way that you do anything is how you are the bridge. And this really beautiful, beautiful visual that came to me in meditation recently was the bridge being, because, you know, when I think of a bridge, I think of this like, maybe like an energetic, it's like beautiful and shining, and it's like coming over into this expanded consciousness. And when I was actually able to visualize it, it was not that. It was a person. It was a person, and this person was like stretching their arms. And so one arm was, the right arm was like coming down and plowing the fingers like down into the earth. And it was like Avatar, where they're like, you know, like the mycelium is like coming and like connecting between the earth and that person. And it's a recognition of one another. It's a soul's recognition. And then the opposite arm, the left arm, is reaching up and like extending out and extending higher up into the realms, into the energy, into the consciousness. Like, it is, we are this bridge. We are this bridge. And we are the bridge energetically. We are the bridge between each other. We are the connection between each other and the love that we have for one another. And so just that you are the bridge. You are the bridge. And so whatever it is that you feel that you're supposed to be doing, to lean into it fully, especially here in 2026, because more people than ever are starting on a journey that you have already gone through. Like, you might not be finished with your journey, but you definitely went through step one, and you might be able to help someone who's going through step one. And so going with that knowing. And the very last thing, I'm going to just read directly for what I wrote. And this is just a message from the earth. I am the air that you breathe, the ether around you. Put your feet in the dirt, submerge in my waters, and hear me in you. Gave me the image, the memory of being completely submerged underwater. And you hear your own heartbeat in your ears. And that is that feeling, that is the message, is that is you, but it's also me, and it's also the earth, and it's consciousness, and it's all of us. And so when you can't hear it because you're too busy looking outside of you and looking at this thing and hearing someone else and hearing the input and letting it affect you, that sometimes you just have to go underwater. Do whatever you have to do, find your moment, pull it in, feel whatever you have to feel, do whatever practice you have to do to truly center in and hear me in you. Hear your own heart. Wow. This was a deep episode, guys. We went in. I love this episode. Me and my turtle friends say thank you. Just like always, I hope that you see beauty in something small. I have some resources for you. I'm going to link under in the description. And so subscribe here, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.